What's up, Libra? As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you are new here, my name is Mel, your new favorite reader, and I am the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if you are new, welcome, and as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So this is going to be the November 2022 Tarot Scope for the sign of Libra, and that's going to be Libra's Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node. All right, so without further ado, let's just jump right in. Let's see what we have for you for November. If you've watched any of my other readings, you'll know that anytime I do readings, it's like Spirit is tickling my nose. So I'm constantly touching my nose, scratching my nose. It's really weird, but I don't know. It's just how me and Spirit work. All right. Anyway, let's get some cards and see what we have for you. Ooh, okay. We've got 3, which is more than I need, but I'm inclined to take them. So let's see. First up, we've got 7th house, relationships. So we already know that the relationships are the subject matter for November, at least one of the subject matters for November. We have Sagittarius, expand. And we've got 5th house, passion. All right, so a lot of relationship, passion, romance energy for you this month. It could be with a Sagittarius, all right? But it could also be about expansion, okay? So for some, I feel like this is letting me know that when it comes to relationships, particularly if you want a committed relationship, if you want romance and passion, I feel like you need to cast a wider net, okay? I'm hearing 2 things. Number 1, you need to cast a wider net, which means that maybe you need to venture out of your typical type. Maybe you need to talk to different types of people, move away from what you're comfortable with. If you have an idea of someone in your head of who you want to be in a relationship with, maybe it's time to venture past that idea. Some of you need to grow into the person that you would need to be to have the relationship that you want, okay? I know that sounds a little confusing, right? Let me explain. Let's say you want a committed relationship with a person who's an entrepreneur. Let's say you just have a whole bunch of relationship criteria, right? You need to be that criteria before you can attract that criteria, meaning that you need to grow into the person that you want to be in order to have the relationship that you want. I hope that makes sense. But there's something about growing and expanding as a person, personally, in order to have the relationship that you want. All right, let's get some more cards and see what else we have here. So since we got 3 from this deck, typically I only pick 1 from this deck and 2 from this deck, but we've got 3 from here. We'll also pick 3 from here. You guys get a little extra. I guess because you guys are the last sign that I'm filming. So I guess Spirit is like, I'll give them a little extra. All right, let's get 3 cards from this deck and see what we have. This 1, 2, 3, perfect. First card out we have is dice, and this says chance, all right? Yeah, some of you need to venture out of your type. The love, the passion, the romance that you want to have, it's going to be found outside of your comfort zone, okay? So you need to take a chance. You need to roll the dice and take a chance with someone who's different. Take a chance with someone who may be of a different faith, of a different culture. Just venture outside of your comfort zone to find love and romance, all right? Then we have peace and harmony. Okay, I like how this is going. I feel like, again, there's something about your typical type or your typical relationship that is not peaceful. It's almost like if you haven't been able to find love and romance where you've been at, it's time to move away from that, okay? Yeah. And then we have infinity, and it says unlimited potential. Yeah, there's this element of venture. I keep hearing you've got to venture out of your comfort zone. Now, it may not be that you have to, you know, if you have a type, you have to just abandon that type. Some of you need to just be a little more adventurous, okay? Maybe in pursuing someone or being pursued, you need to be a little more adventurous. Maybe it's about personal development more so than just finding a new type of person to be in a relationship with. A lot of personal development, okay? Let's get some more cards here and see what we have. Ooh, that just flew out. Do we want to take it? Nah, we're not going to take that one. All right. There we go. We've got the Two of Wands. Yeah, it's about trying something new, embarking on a new adventure. All right. Next, we have the Five of Wands, but you seem to be conflicted. I get the sense that what I'm saying is not new to you. I feel like it's confirmation, but you still feel conflicted. Maybe you don't want to try a new type. Maybe you want to stick to what you know. Maybe this personal development, it's like you've got an angel and a devil on each shoulder, and one is saying, do it. The other saying, don't do it. I feel like there's this inner conflict that you have right now that you're battling with. And then this is the card that fell on the floor, but I knew it was going to come out again. It's the Moon card. Some of you are fearful. You may be feeling a lot, or you're just drowning in emotion. Some of this could be a really emotional time, but by and large, I feel like you're kind of afraid. You're afraid to venture out of your comfort zone. You're afraid to let go of an ideal. Some of you had an ideal of what a relationship should look like. It could have been with a particular person, or it could be like, my relationship has to be like this. It has to be structured like this. These X, Y, and Z has to happen in a relationship for me to feel fulfilled, for me to feel loved and accepted. And Spirit is like, you have to move away from that ideal. You have to stretch your mind to accept different than what you had envisioned. And you know this, but you're afraid. Makes sense. That's a very human emotion, right? And you're battling this within yourself. You're like, I kind of know I have to do this, but I don't want to. And you're a little afraid and a little apprehensive. And that makes complete sense. Okay. Let's get some more cards here. Yeah, we've got the Eight of Swords. When it comes to love and relationships, you are very one-track minded. You're very much like, it has to be like this. It has to look like this. It has to walk, talk, and smell like this. It has to be with this kind of person. It needs to be in this order, this process. You're very tied to a relationship ideal. And Spirit is like, you have to let that go. You have to let that go. All right, let's get some more cards here. Let's get 3 more from this deck. That's 1, that's 2. We got 4. You're getting a lot more. You're getting a lot more. You're getting a lot more. Libra. Okay. By being tied to a particular ideal or a particular person or a particular type, you're limiting yourself. Spirit wants to give you a lot more if you will just stretch your mind, stretch your ideals, stretch your imagination. Don't be tied to a type. Don't be tied to a process. You know what I'm hearing? Some of you are like, I need to date someone for a year, then we get engaged, then we get married, then we have 2.5 kids and a house and a car. And you have this whole, and society does it to us, right? We're conditioned to think relationships have to go a certain way. And Spirit is like, I have so much more to give you. But you only want to date someone that's 6 feet and up. Spirit is like, what? No, I have so much more to offer you. But guess what? This dude is like 5'5". I know. There's a lot more to be gained if you will venture outside of your comfort zone. If you will let go of an ideal when it comes to dating, when it comes to love, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to commitment, even when it comes to kids. I'm hearing like, because the 5th, so I want you to see this card, 5th house. The 5th house covers romance, but it also covers kids. Some of you feel like you have to have kids in a certain way or by a certain age or at a certain time. And Spirit is like, no, don't tie yourself to a process. Don't tie yourself to a certain kind of conditioning, because Spirit's like, I've got so much more to give you if you'll just stretch your mind. In unlimited potential. I want you to look at this card again. Unlimited potential. You have the potential to have so much more than what you bargained for if you will break outside of what you think a relationship should look like, who you think you should have a relationship with, how you think you're supposed to have kids and a marriage. Be adventurous, Libra. All right. First card out we have is heartbreak. I'm hearing you can't get better in the place that got you sick. Meaning if you've been trying to have love, romance, and you've been doing all the things to have it and you haven't been finding it, what makes you think you're going to find it where you've been looking? Because if where you've been looking was where you were going to find it, you would have it already, right? And I'm not chastising you, nor am I trying to yell at you. This is spirit talking, okay? Spirit's like, you can't find it. If you haven't found it where you've been, you have to try someplace new. You have to try a new ideal. You have to try a new person, a new type. You have to do something differently. Because what's been working for you clearly hasn't been working. Okay? That's one. Yep. Then we have the Knight of Swords. You need to change your thinking. See how this person is running. They're running away from where they were. Love don't live where you've been. And I don't mean that in a harsh way. Change your thinking. Stretch your mind. Use your imagination. But you need something different. It's time for something different. 3 of Wands. Many of you have been waiting. Y'all have been doing... I flipped this card prematurely, but this is a really good card. Just wait for it. Many of you have been waiting. You're like, I've been doing all the things. I've been diligent. I've been doing what I need to do, keeping myself open. You've been doing all the things to have love, romance, and stuff. And you're waiting. You've been waiting. You're like, where is this person? Where is this person? Spirit is like, you got to meet them halfway because they're not. I want to show you this card. This person is like standing on a cliff right here. And there's this ocean in front of them. They've got their surfboard and they're just waiting, right? They're waiting. Spirit is like, I need you to get on the surfboard and I need you to go into the water. I need you to surf to the other side. What you're wanting is requiring you to step away from where you've been. It's time to go on an adventure. It's time to do something different. Step out of your comfort zone. Get away from your type. Experience something new. Go on an adventure. Get on your surfboard and ride the wave, Libra. Because guess what? When you do that, when you stop waiting, when you stop, swimming in the dating pool that you've been swimming in, which has yielded no results, right? Guess what happens? Guess what happens? 2 of Cups. Do you see this? Do you see what this card looks like? When you venture out of your comfort zone, this is what you get. Love. Companionship, marriage, the relationship that you've been waiting for. I don't need to clarify any of this because Spirit is like, this message is cut and dry. I've already given you enough cards. You don't need to pull any more for this message. Venture outside of your comfort zone, Libra. And you'll get love. You'll get romance. You'll get marriage. You'll get the relationship you wanted. I don't know what else to say. It's like, you can't find it where you've been. You've got to stretch yourself. You have to go on an adventure. You have to move away from an ideal that you held because holding that ideal has not yielded the results that you were looking for. And it's not to say that the ideal was wrong. Maybe you've outgrown it. Or maybe you've just come to a point in life where Spirit is like, I have so much to offer you, but you can't be tied to these limiting things. The world is your oyster. There's so much I have to give you. That love, that relationship that you wanted, I can give that to you tenfold. But you've got to move away from those limiting beliefs. You've got to move away from that old story. You've got to move away from that nasty cesspool that you've been trying to find a husband in or a wife in. You ain't gonna find it there. I feel like many of you have been, and this is the image I'm getting, so please forgive me. And if it doesn't resonate, you don't have to, don't internalize it. Don't try to make it fit, but just listen to what I have to say. So I'm being shown of this image of like you're fishing, right? But you're fishing in a lake or in a body of water that's got a whole bunch, that it had like an oil spill, right? It's dirty. It's nasty. You find a fish, but you're going to have to clean it off. You know that Dawn commercial where it's like those cute little ducklings and they're using the Dawn to clean them off after an oil spill? I feel like that's what you think relationships are like, where you have to find a partner in a cesspool and then clean them up and make something of it. And Spirit is like, what are you talking about? You've just been looking in the wrong place. Here, I have a whole ocean of clean, fresh water with big, abundant fish for you that you don't have to clean off. Spirit is like, your counterpart is waiting for you in this beautiful ocean of beautiful, clear water. It's not polluted. There's no garbage in it. But you are still stuck on this cesspool. You think that the process is that you have to find a fish in this dirty water and then clean it up. And Spirit is like, no, there's so many other ways to find your counterpart, but you cannot be tied to an old ideal. If you will stretch your mind, if you will venture out of your comfort zone, this is waiting for you. Point blank, period, Libra. So I know the choice is yours. At the end of the day, you have free will. You could fish in that cesspool. You really could. And you might find a wife or a husband or whatever it is that you want to find. No one's saying that you can't. But wouldn't you want better? Wouldn't you not want to find someone in polluted waters? Wouldn't you want to find a big, abundant, beautiful fish from clear water that Spirit's just going to hand to you on a silver platter? Wouldn't that be easier? But the choice is yours. The choice is ultimately yours and yours alone to make. So you have a choice to make in November. Are you going to stick to what you know? Or are you going to take a leap of faith, take a chance, roll the dice, and end up with this? Intriguing. But again, free will. So the choice is ultimately yours. All right. So now I'm going to pick 3 rapid fire style cards, one for relationship, one for money and career, and one is a general message and general advice for the month of November. Now, clearly we've been talking about relationships, but let's see what exclamation point does Spirit have to put on this message for you for relationships in November. That's way too many. Spirit is like, nah, way too many. Let's get one, please. One card for relationships. Okay, this one flipped over. We've got divine timing. This lets me know that many of you are feeling impatient. Many of you are like, I want the relationship I want now. You want it now. Divine timing can only work though if you work with the divine, okay? And that's going to require you to do everything I just talked about, all right? So it'll happen in divine timing. If you stretch yourself, if you move away from an ideal and from a type, and if you venture out of your comfort zone. All right, let's get a card on money and career. Let's see how money and career are looking for November. All right, we've got the cross. So money and career is going to feel a little heavy. It's going to feel a little oppressive. You're going to feel like you have a cross to bear. So it may be a little challenging, but you are at the end of a challenging period. I feel like it's been challenging for a while, money and career. That's kind of going to continue in November, I'm sorry to say, but you're at the end, okay? I feel like by the end of the year, things are really going to turn a corner when it comes to money and career for you. All right, let's get one last card as general advice for the month and to close out this reading. That was fast. Look at this. A change in the wind. You see what that says? A change in the wind. So things are changing, okay? They have the ability to change, but you have to change. You have to change your way of thinking. You have to change your ideals. It's not even change. No one is saying abandon your ideals. It's just saying expand them. Allow for newness. Expand your level of understanding. Expand your view. Don't just have tunnel vision. You're sort of being asked to take a wider view of life, of relationships, of love, and of romance. And that is when things will change for you. It's all about a perspective change. No one is saying you have to throw away everything you believed in terms of love and relationships. No one is saying you have to completely abandon your type or abandon what it is that you want. It's just take a wider view. And when you do so, this is what you are promised. All right? All right, Libra, that has been your November 2022 tarot scope. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. And if you did, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, all right? And speaking of readings, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, those links are in the description box below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy November, Libra, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.